Hi, everybody, and welcome back to yet another cracking edition of the Matt Brown Show. This is the Secrets of Fail series, where we are talking to business leaders, CEOs, and entrepreneurs all about their epic business blunders. And with us in the hot seat today is the co-founder and CEO of a cool company called Boardsi, and his name is Martin Rowinski. Martin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for having me back on here.
Yeah, man. Take two, baby. So let's get into the elevator pitch, bud. Why don't you let our audience in on what you guys are exactly up to over there at Boardsi?
Absolutely. Got a lot of good things coming. So Boardsi or Boardsi, however people say it, we're basically been in the board placement space for executives for almost 7 years now. So basically, we have a network of C-suite executives. On the flip side, we talk to companies at all levels, from private startups to large private firms and publicly traded companies. And we either help them find a board member or build a board, and also board advisors or advisory roles that might be temporary or might be long-term and might end up turning into a board position. So anything to do at a very high level, recruitment wise, that's what we do.
Very, very, very cool. Alrighty, Martin, so let's get into the meat and the potatoes of this series. What is your epic story of fail for our audience around the world today?
Epic story. Well, you have personal epic stories of fails, which I'm sure there's a lot of those out there. And then you have obviously business fails. So I'll tell a quick story about my personal, which I think is what really framed me for how I look at fail in general, but definitely how I look at fail business and deal with it. So when I was a kid, I was born and raised in Poland. And on my way to US, which was our mission to get to US, we actually were in Italy for 8 years. And that was the first time that I saw my mom actually give up on her dream of coming to US and bringing me here for a better life. And because the US government didn't give us approval to come to US, and my mom was pretty much ready to pack her bags and go back to Poland. And I was pretty shocked that my mom was that easy to give up. So I encouraged her, pleaded with her to reapply, which we did. And obviously here I am in US. So fail turned to success. But my epic, I would say, fail that I had to deal with was in 2008 mortgage meltdown in US. And at that time, I owned a mortgage company. We did a lot of refis and stayed open for as long as I possibly could, kept my employees on payroll as long as I could. Was being told things are going to turn around, and as we all know, they never did. So that was my big fail, where I literally, wasn't just a business fail where I can fix it. The entire business just melted and went away. So
Shit.
That was probably my biggest one.
Well, I love your story about your mom, man. Like, I remember like when I applied also for this. It's called like a person of extraordinary ability green card thing, and anyway, I got it. And it was like the best day ever. But then COVID happened, and we just spent like 3 years in the wilderness, like waiting, So it was as bad as like being denied, because you just kind of like, yes, you can, but you can't. so it was a complete shit show. But I understand the frustration and so on. But Martin, back to you. When you think about the 2008 story with your mortgage business and stuff, what stands out for you as like a key insight or lesson that you now take forward with you into your business today?
So I think my biggest lesson was obviously pivoting. And thankfully for me, I have pivoted before. I wasn't born into mortgage business. I wasn't in mortgage for an extremely long time, like a lifetime executive, and then literally sitting there thinking, what am I going to do? I've pivoted before, so it came pretty natural, but really sitting there and taking a look and trying to figure out, okay, that business is gone at that time, and it was gone for quite a few years. And watching all my friends pivoting into the next thing, which was the mortgage restructure and doing anything to do with mortgage. And I just had such a bad taste in my mouth. I wanted nothing to do with the industry. So really for me, the learning lesson was, okay, pivot, do something completely different, nothing, relevant to mortgages, real estate, homes, nothing, and go after it just as passionate as you did with the mortgage business, which was very successful at that time, and go kill it. So that's what we did.
Congrats, man. So Martin, if you could get into the Matt Brown Show time machine and go back to yourself in 2008, now with the luxury of hindsight, could you have done anything differently? And if you would do or could do something differently, why?
Pivoting wise, I wouldn't change anything. And when we did pivot, that business we pivoted into was not Boardsi. This is Boardsi has been around for almost 7 years. So, but it was a different business. It was an SEO business. It was a business directory driven towards helping small businesses. I would say the only thing I would do different, and I bring this to a lot of people's attention, is when you do partner, which we ended up partnering and we ended up getting bought out, do your homework. We definitely didn't. We were pretty young in business and young to the whole merger acquisition space, and we got taken advantage of, and probably could have walked away with a much nicer package than we did. So lesson learned. Obviously I can't jump in a time machine, but take it with me to the next one.
Yeah, awesome, man. What's your advice, Martin, to CEOs out there about the importance or the role of failing and becoming successful in business?
Yeah, I think failing is just, my only advice would be it's a stepping stone to success. If you don't think you're going to fail, if you think you're just going to have a smooth road straight, there's no curves, no sharp turns, or no rocks falling, and no speed bumps, then you're in for a surprise. Expect it, and whatever your route is from A to Z, you might have to take a couple of left turns and right turns and eventually get there. But just be ready to pivot from whatever fail you have, learn from it, and get better. Don't look at it as a negative. It's just a stepping stone.
Sage advice, man. What about books, tools, resources, podcasts, things like that you recommend, Martin?
I recommend Matt Brown.
It's the only show you'll ever need.
When it comes to podcasts, I'm not a huge podcaster listener. When it comes to book, I'm very old school. Napoleon Hill, Agmendino. I just like how they write, and it's simple, it's old, and it's still being rewritten today by other people. So any new book out there, you can find out same information from them. So Dale Carnegie. So those are my go-tos.
Okay, beautiful stuff. Martin, great to have you back on the show. It does conclude your time in the hot seat, unfortunately. Or fortunately, But congrats, dude, on your ability to persevere and pivot and all those sorts of things. Those are certainly principles that resonate with me, and I know they'll resonate a lot with my audience as well. It's like Resolate. It's a new book coming out called Resolating. But great to see you again, buddy, and thanks for coming on the show.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt.
Cheers, everybody. We'll see you again soon.